India and EFTA countries have signed a huge deal that would entail a 1 million job for Indians in the next 15 to 20 years and about 100 billion investment that will come from these EFTA countries, that is Norway, Liechtenstein, Switzerland and Iceland. To have more conversation on this, we are joined by Norway's Trade and Industry Minister. Welcome to CNN News 18, sir.
Namaste.
Tell us, how are you going to achieve these headline figures of $100 billion investment in India and creating that huge amount of job employment opportunities, and what are the kind of sectors that you are looking at this time?
I mean, it's a very ambitious goal, obviously, but come on, we are in India. It's the fastest growing economy, the fifth biggest, supposed to be the second or third biggest economy a few years from now. We did look into the investment numbers over the last 2 decades. We have looked into the GDP growth right now, so we think this is a number that should be within reach. But it requires, of course, that we have the entire ecosystem. We need the framework conditions. We really need the foundation to increase trade, to increase investments, and to increase job creation. And that's why this agreement is so important. So I would say it's an historic moment and it's a great day.
Well, one would wonder how this $100 billion is going to be committed by these 4 countries, and how will this $100 billion come to India? What are the sectors that you are going to be interested, and will it be really 1 million job opportunities that will be created? How do you see it?
I mean, we are committed to promote investments and to promote job creation, and the goals are $100 billion in investments and 1 million new jobs over the next 2 decades. And based on the based on the results so far, and the history has shown us how this will develop, I'm pretty sure that it's within reach. But again, it is ambitious. I think we will see investments in all kinds of sectors. Already 130 Norwegian companies are represented here in India. The investments now is approximately $25 billion, including our sovereignty fund, including our climate fund. The goals we're talking about now is the direct investments from the private business sector, but I mean, it's a really strong foundation to build on. And with the new agreement also, where we reduce and eliminate the tariffs, making it so much easier for Indian and European businesses to team up, I'm really happy about the future.
So about $20 billion, that is the kind of value that we have bilateral in terms of bilateral trade arrangement, and about 90% is imported from these EFTA countries to India. So there's a huge trade deficit. How are you going to bridge this trade deficit by this FTA, and how is that going to ensure that the favor doesn't remain with the EFTA companies?
I mean, talking on Norwegian behalf, we do have a trade deficit towards India. So India is exporting more to Norway than we are exporting to India. But I mean, that doesn't matter, because we want to see increased trade. That should be beneficial for India, for Indian jobs, and it should be beneficial for Norway, of course. So I believe that, for instance, talking on behalf of Norway now, when we are eliminating tariffs right now on 98%, that's more or less all kind of products coming from India into Norway. Of course, that represents great opportunities for Indian exporters as well, as it is for Norwegian exporters that want to do great business here in India.
Will this trade agreement be beneficial, or will it some way ease the opportunity for Indians or the skilled Indian workers to go and find some work in Norway as well? How is that going to work?
Yeah, that's the purpose. I mean, we do have our immigration policy, but we need also skilled workers and experts. Already 20,000 Indians are working in Norway. They're doing a tremendous job. I mean, some of the Norwegian companies wouldn't have reached as far as they have reached if it was not for the competence and the knowledge among our Indian friends. So again, this is not about one country benefiting from the other country. It's about equality, it's about balance, and it's about giving hope, prosperity and business opportunities for both India and for the European countries.
Norway has been, and kind of expert in blue economy, maritime economy, also in renewable energy sectors, climate change, climate related fundings also. Are these also going to be part of this EFTA agreement that you're going to work around with this Indian counterparts over the period of 10 to 15 years?
Yes, and some of the Norwegian companies already represented in India, they are among those sectors into renewables, the maritime industry, green infrastructure, construction companies, and so on and so on. So I think we will see a huge variety of different industries, different sectors, different companies. We're not highlighting one or two or three. This is up to the private sector now to really showcase what they are able to achieve. But the most important message is that we will see more trade, more investments, more jobs, and also, of course, common commitments to save our planet, reducing our emissions, and make the world a better and more sustainable place.
Particularly within the EFTA group, what is the kind of the chunk that Norway is going to have with India in terms of those $100 billion investment?
We didn't come to the numbers like that because it's an EFTA number. We are in this together. It's one EFTA. So that will be a bit different from country to country, but the commitment from the EFTA countries as a whole is to promote investment opportunities and to make sure that we have decent and good and competitive framework conditions for our companies to grow and to expand.
Well, this trade agreement has come after negotiations of almost 15 years. So it's kind of huge achievement. And of course, are we going to see more business opportunities for Indians in Norway as well, Indian companies in Norway? And in what sectors, if you could just tell us?
Yes, we will see a lot of more Indian companies, and I really hope so. They are all invited to invest and to create jobs and make investments, of course, also in our country. And I think that will be within many different industries. We mentioned the green shipping industry already, where there are strong partnerships between India and Norway. I think we will see it within also other kind of research and R&D, heavy industries. And it can also be within construction, manufacturing, product design, and so on and so on.
When is this deal or the arrangement is kicking in? When is this actually going to be implemented?
Hopefully as soon as possible. I mean, it has been signed today. It's already proven by the Norwegian and the Indian government. Back home in Norway, it has to go through parliament. It's an upcoming election in India, of course. So I guess it will take some months, but hopefully we will have the agreement implemented in some months from now, and that means that Indian exporters will have zero tariffs when they export their products and services to Norway.
Okay. Thank you, Minister. Thanks for talking to us.
Namaste.
Namaste. So India and Norway are going to have more trade dynamics in the days to come, and with the kind of partnership that India is looking ahead in terms of having these expertise coming from Norway in terms of blue economy, maritime economy, construction work, climate funding, technology, and high-skilled job that will be provided to Indians in Norway. This deal is going to facilitate many of such verticals, and about $100 billion is the kind of commitment that the government of these EFTA countries have shown, that they will promote private companies to invest $100 billion in India over a period of next 15 years. That will provide job of about 1 million Indians. And if anything doesn't go as planned right now, then the countries will continue to sit together and reassess their progress on these EFTA agreements, so that the ambitious targets they have set in multiple verticals would be achieved in a time-bound manner. With camera person Naveen Masal, this is Abhishek Jha for CNN News 18.